Tactical genius, he's the one to see on VP4TV. He's wild and he's free. Eyeball top number here to you and me. With his cunning moves, he's rocking endlessly. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, lights for the kill. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, lights for the kill. Tactical genius with every play, making magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. From the corner bank to the perfect cut, he wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just a fortune or luck. But skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man, we all shout proper. Magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Corner bank to the perfect cup, he wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just a fortune or luck. But skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man, we all shout proper.
ATG from Kilmarnock town, got your hustle down. Streams the pool games live, makes our day come alive. Early mornings on your grind, Tesco shift unwind, but you find the time to play, stream the virtual day. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand.
And it's a sucker scratch. Look at the line. Commentator's eye. Don't say I didn't warn you.
OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. Early riser, work all done, streams of games just for fun. We'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. Oh, TG, tactical genius. Every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. For TG, tactical genius. Every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
This for the 101. Absolutely sensational once again.
Virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. Early riser, work all done, streams of games just for fun. We'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. Oh, TG, tactical genius. Every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
That was fantastic.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh dear, outside, never mind.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Well, good afternoon or good morning, depending where you are in the world and what time of day it is. Welcome back to VP4TV. We have our second match of the day in this year's 2025 Virtual Straight Pool World Championships here in VP4. And we have Fast Eddie from the USA matched up against Misken. At the top left of the screen, you can see who the winner of the match was earlier today. We had the match between the defending champion, Acero from Japan, and Miasma from Germany. Miasma himself predicted it would be a bloodbath. I sort of thought it would as well, and that's how it ended up. Acero won the lag, and as you do in straight pool, you win the lag, you put your opponent in, which he did, and Miasma's break-off left Acero in, and right off the bat, Acero stuck away a break and a run of 130, which now is the highest run in the tournament. Now, if you look at the two players' names in the bottom of the screen, you'll see Fast Eddie, and he has 91 as his highest run in Virtual Pool 4. And if you look at poor Misken, who's never played straight pool, he has only a high run of 19, which probably is maybe from a couple of racks or something like that he's played at some point in the past. So he is in for a huge learning curve this afternoon. And Fast Eddie, the odds-on favourite, but I wonder if Misken's actually put in any sort of time at all in trying to work something out with this game. But we will find out. Misken has arrived. He is in a room, presumably getting a wee bit of practice. And Fast Eddie's been sitting in the chat for a good hour or so, but now he's getting a quick warm-up. Now, there has been a change and an update since earlier this afternoon. Anybody who was in the stream earlier this afternoon will remember that Cobra, who dropped by, said he had sent proposals to Cheeky Chico, hadn't heard anything. And Cheeky Chico came into the lobby after the stream was over, messaged me to say that he hadn't had any emails. He had only saw on the stream the mention that Cobra had sent proposals. So I don't know whether Cheeky Chico's getting his emails forwarded to his PC, whether they're maybe going into his spam folder or whatever, but he did accept the proposal. And as we will see from the schedule, if I can get it to come up, we have the match that's coming up now. We also have Aussie Mick and Poolka Bouter on Friday morning at 9 AM. I won't be there for that. We have Cobra and Cheeky Chico on Friday night at 7 PM. And then the other matches are on Saturday. So the match I'll be streaming tomorrow night will be Cobra and Cheeky Chico. Cobra, of course, one of the contenders for this tournament. We are just knocking on the door of 5 o'clock now. Steve hasn't messaged me again. How hard can it be to log in? Well, it's not a case of logging into the website. It's a case of setting up your account so the emails have been forwarded to you whenever anybody sends a message. And also making sure that you've got it tabbed as not spam. If you happen to rummage in your spam folder and you find the message in there, you need to tell your email that, you know, emails from this address aren't spam. I mean, sometimes there's probably a little delay in getting the email, but that's about it. But you certainly, if you have it set up right, you'll get the emails forwarded to you. Now, this room is up. Misken is already in the room. and we'll get ourselves in. Welcome to Tam. I'm going to do a quick tab. As I said, Steve hasn't messaged me anything, and he's not any sign of him in Discord, so I'll leave it at that at the moment. I'll leave it as it is at the moment, and I will shut down Discord when I've got time. Now, there's one other thing I need to do. I just need to double check this this replay and make sure it's set up right. You'll be pleased to hear I've got my buttons working again. And let's just move this across. I'll be back with you in a second. And that should, in fact, I'll just shut Discord down right now, and that'll save any more messing about. Right, so yeah, so we've got what should be a good match tomorrow night with Cobra and Cheeky Chico. And I still don't think that Acero's high run is going to last. I think that's going to be beaten, because we're right in the early stages of this event. So there's players that can score out there. And here we go for the lag. And of course, this is one of the most important parts of straight pull, is winning the lag and putting your opponent into break. Now, let's see if Misken is going to put up any sort of fight at all. I would expect him to beat his high run in this match, especially if you're concentrating and make that bit more of an effort. I would expect him to get a new high run. Well, Misken has achieved the first part of the deal. He's won the lag. And he's put Fast Eddie in. And I would suggest that that's a reasonably satisfactory break, if it wasn't for the fact that, well, that isn't a set combo. It's definitely going to the jaw, that one ball. Now, Misken will be having a look at that, but he might be taking the bait. But there's not much room to manoeuvre that one ball from that angle. Not from where I'm looking, anyway. And if he's going thin, he wants to push this towards the 8. And in fact, it was so tight to the 14 that was the only direction it could head. And that is a good shot. That is a very good shot. I mean, length on the safeties in straight pull is one of the top priorities. And he's achieved that there with that shot. Now, I wonder who's going to come into this stream and get totally confused and say, why is Fast Eddie on 91 and Misken on 19? Somebody is going to come on here totally clueless and not be able to work that out for themselves. Does the 14 go now? I've just read that in the chat. Welcome to Matt. The 14 doesn't go. So I don't know whether you've heard, Matt, but if you look at the top left-hand corner of the screen, you will see that your high run has been toppled by the very first visit of Acero earlier today. So everybody's now got a goal to beat. Oh, was it just a warm-up? I'll give you that then. I'll give you the benefit of that. You can always build from there. So Fast Eddie has got the table in pretty good shape here. I mean, again, all of these balls, provided you just pick them off in the right order, you don't have to hit anything. You don't need to bump anything into play. And you can then have a quick study and look at what your potential break ball would be. Well, the 10 ball's right at the head of the pack. 1 ball is good, 14's too far towards the back, and the 7 is in the triangle. Oh, listen to here, pig. Well, if you've ever heard such a pile of bullshit, and I presume here pig's not signed up to this event. I presume he's not even in it. I bet he isn't signed up. Is that right? Am I guessing right? I never even looked to see the list of players. I can't remember. How am I ever going to remember who's all signed up without going and looking? Well, Fast Eddie. Oh dear. Well, that's a terrible shot there. Right off the bat. I mean, there was no real need to put any sort of check in English in the cue ball there, and whatever he's done, he's missed an absolute sitter. And the run ends on 6, so Fast Eddie's going to have to pull his socks up a bit. But let's see if Misken has any semblance of an idea of what he's doing here. Now, clearly, with the balls that have been potted, the favoured break ball would probably be the one now. He's sitting looking at the 10. So this is the one you've got to work your way around. 7 balls in the triangle. And he sort of finished a bit short there. I don't know that was where he wanted to be, but at least he gets rid of the 7. But this is going to be a test of his ability. And let's be honest, he doesn't really have to do an awful lot to improve his game. He really has to just find this break shot, and he could have his high run here straight away. I don't know how many games of straight pull I've played, and I'm sure my high run's about 33. Yeah, that's the other problem. He's probably... Well, he's got the 8 ball. And now has to get up the table onto this pink 12. And this is, you know what Steve would be saying with that pink 12, where it's sitting. And, well, this is not ideal, let's be honest. Well, he's got a perfect angle, but these are the things you've got to put away, and you've got to do them in regular order. And he's got the pot, he's got the break, he's got a shot, and off he goes. And he's only 10 away from tying up with his high run. What's Tam saying up there? Tam says unviewable, damn it. What's going on? What's Tam's problem? I've just noticed that in the chat. What's up, Tam? What's unviewable? What's wrong? Let me know and I'll try and assist you. Oh, he's too busy live streaming to his little group of buddies on Shooter's Pool. I think he should change his channel to How Good Am I? That's what he should change his channel. Let's call it that. Well, Misken on 15, cue balls running a bit loose and not necessarily under the best control, but he's still got a shot. See, this is what this is a habit that a lot of new players to straight pool do, and it's the biggest fault that they probably have. Apart from the fact they probably get difficulty in controlling the cue ball, the other major fault, in my opinion, is because the balls are open, they're running about with no great semblance of control. I mean, even though the balls are open, they're just sort of letting the cue ball run loose, thinking, well, I've got to be on a ball anyway. But that's never the way to go about this game. It is never the way to go about it, and it is a bad habit for any new players to straight pull. And then they come up with the excuse, oh, I'm only playing for fun. No, that's not how you go about it at all. You've got to pick out the individual ball. That's what the whole idea is of running balls. Well, he's now got a new high run. I'm going to have to edit that. And that's the target I gave him, to at least break his high run for straight pull, and he's done it. Well, I think, Matt, we're all outvoted, I'm afraid. The 9-ball World Championship is past its anniversary, or at least it will be in a day or two, I think. And remember, I don't set the tournaments. Well, Misken's run of 23 has ended, and he's played a decent little safety. And I'll just do a little edit here right now. There you go. So well done to Misken. Oh no, Steve's already got his second in command. That's Simon. He's already sorted out that. Why is that number suddenly bigger than the other number? That's weird. Anyway. Well, Fast Eddie's careless miss early on in the rack cost him those 23 points that Misken got. Joker and Huey Quinn. Who the hell's that? Well, we've got a good little bit of ducking and diving, and we're at the wrong end of the table because we need to look and see if anything gets set up here, because this is where mistakes get made. You nudge the wrong ball, you nudge it too thick, and you set something up, and that's not a great shot by Misken. Pretty careless. And Fast Eddie will more than likely be giving this a good blast. Well, I was thinking he was going it. Well, he's digging in. And he actually probably stunned that more than anything else. Didn't get a great deal of action. And he might be stumped for a shot here. No, I think the 10 ball goes. He can get the 10 ball. Well, that 2 ball looks far too tight, but the 10 ball will bail him out. Yeah, he would have had a good chance, but I think he's been signed up to this tournament more than once in his time and bottled out at the end of it for whatever reason. Well, Fast Eddie's looking at this 2 ball, and he can get to it. And that bump that he's just had there has done him a favour, because that cue ball could have ran up the table and just sat on a ball. So there's work to do, and he has to clear the 4 ball, and doing that opens up those 2 balls. Getting rid of them opens up everything that side. So again, there's nothing needs to be bumped here. It's what order you take them in, and He should really be taking this 4-ball very soon. Problem though is he's got one break ball there, really. I mean, the 4 balls at the bottom of the pack, it could do. And the fact that he's taking the 8-ball now and breaking into these balls, he could have ruined his break ball there. He could have created another one, but the 4-ball remains untouched. Well, I think in Inspector Don's case, I think that's probably correct. That the more he does enter, the more chances of winning he has and getting himself onto that list. So we're at the critical point in the rack. The 4-ball remains where it is. It looks like the nominated break ball. And Fast Eddie's task is getting there for a comfortable breakout. Now, what does everybody think of the on-screen chat? I think it's nice and clear. And I changed the font slightly the other day, and it's a bit thicker font. So here we go. Watch the cue ball. Oh, I think Eddie's having difficulty in firing here. He's taking an inordinate amount of time lining up.
Where's the cue ball going?
I told you about the cue ball. It spun straight off that angle of the pack and straight into the corner. I don't know whether we'll be able to see it. There you go. Just caught the last dregs of it there. So Misken can profit again from another error from Fast Eddie. Eddie's run is just 11, and Misken still has a lead and counting. And this is why things can go pear-shaped. Well, I see cue ball's just running loose again, and he's finished on a ball, but I'm not necessarily thinking that that's the one he played for. Well, 4 balls sitting at the head of the stack there. It's not really going anywhere. And, well, from the other side, if you get that 7 ball, which would be ideal just to get on that back 9 ball, I'm pretty certain you can get enough of that 9 ball to pot it, and the way of getting there is off the 7 or even the 8. And I wonder if Misken's had a look at any of those options. And the other thing, of course, is that, you don't want to get fixated on that ball that's sitting out there as a possible break ball if you've still got a problem with the stack of balls. Now, he's got himself there or thereabouts. He's a wee bit low. He's not even giving it a look. And he's just letting the cue ball run out. So now he's going to have a problem here if he doesn't act very quickly. This break is going to come to an end very soon if he does not act. Well, he had a chance from the other side, and not quite clear what he was playing for here, because if it was the 4, he can't get that. And now he's hoping for a lucky kiss. He ain't got that, and as predicted, here endeth the run, but there endeth the lesson. That's the ball he should have been playing to get on with the opportunities he had, and he failed to get there. and the inevitable is going to happen unless he does something crazy or spots something crazy. I don't think there's anything there that's on. So difficult, of course, to keep this safe as well. And that's a touch like a sledgehammer, I'm afraid. Well, you know, sometimes when players play this game, especially when they haven't played it much at all, then it's anybody's guess as to what they're actually hoping to achieve. But we could all see where he went wrong. He should have been on that 9-ball ASAP to open that stack that was left there, and he would have been still at the table probably. But he's letting Fast Eddie off the hook doing that. You know, Fast Eddie, with the 2 mistakes he's made, he can get away with it in this match for the time being, because there's a long way to go. But well, I mean, how far has he missed that pot there? Look at this. It just misses the side pocket. Look at how far he has missed this 2-ball. I mean, that is a shocker. That is a real shocker, that 2-ball. And I think Eddie wants to get a cup of coffee or something and get himself shaken down here, because he's made 3 glaring errors. And all of a sudden he's back at the table, though. Misken's hung the 2. So again, he's getting off the hook. This might be going too straight, is it? Well, it is a bit. He's got enough angle, but he's got to really thump this. You want a slightly better angle than this. He's a bit too shallow. You see, he's not really got a lot of movement in the balls here at all. But like we always say, all you're wanting is 1 ball, and he's got one. He's got something to work with. And now we need to look and see. The obvious shot here would be dealing with the 15 to get a bump and move some stuff around. He's trying it from that option. But again, the 15's now got itself back into play, so it's now acting as a blocker. Yeah, maybe it would have been better to wait a little bit, because you never know. You're hoping obviously the balls are going to roll good for you, but had he went to the back of the pack and took that 15, it might have not been quite as ugly as this. But if he just plays a little nudge here, a little dab, you can get rid of it. You want to get rid of that. That's your blocking ball there. The 3 balls now a blocking ball this side for the 14, and then these 2 here need dealing with the 7 and 10. So there's stuff to be concentrating on here for Fast Eddie. He's got work to do. And as long as those blocking balls remain there, that 15, that always leaves the problem with the 1 ball and trying to get on the shorter side of that for any particular reason. Because there's half a pocket for that 1 ball to go in past the 10, maybe 2/3 of a pocket if it came to it. So that I think he can get that 15 now as well. He might be playing the combo here. So that's all of the issues going to be dealt with now. He's got a huge margin of error here with this 10 ball. I mean, even I would make this combo. Well, now you look at what the situation is. 8 ball clearly will be the break ball, unless he suddenly ends up somewhere down here on this 1 ball at the back of the pack. Oh, welcome to Larry. So, pot the 5, or is he leaving the 5 to get to the 8? I mean, that would be only good to get to the 8 if the 5 was your second last ball, and as it is at the moment, it isn't, of course. So now he's going to, by the look of it, having to sneak out at the back of that 8 ball unless he has an angle to go to the short rail back into the table. Let's have a look. Well, he's got a slight angle to work with here, so it's around the corner, but he's going to end up too straight. He's going to end up too straight here. Well, he's got an angle again, but you'd need that wee bit more. See, this pack can be like a brick wall when you hit it at a shallow angle like this. Or it could burst open, but it's unlikely it will. But again, he's got a cut. He might have to play this thin cut in the 2 to start him off. Or he can cut the 6. So he's got two shot choices here. There's no panic. Oh, and Miasma, is he gone? He left the building. He sneaked out when I was busy concentrating. So, you've got the untidiness behind the back of the stack, so you can get rid of all these balls right now when you've got the opportunity. Now, the problem is that I'm looking at this pack. Well, I think he tried to do something silly there. And he could be stone dead. Oh, he's lucky. He's lucky. And now he's going to get desperate because he needs to do damage here and he needs to get on a ball that will allow him to do it. And, well, he's fine now that he's on the 4 at a slight angle. He can certainly get a hit, but this cue ball can go deep off this pack if it doesn't get them. Well, that was a sort of, wasn't all that convincing, was it? But it's good enough. It's good enough. I think he can get enough of the 13 to pot that, and then these will just fall open like a pack of cards. Or at least they should do. Right, and that 12 has come across into break ball territory. It may well be nominated more as a favoured ball because the 9 ball, again, right at the back of the pack. So that clearly can be the break ball. And I think that's what he's going to work his way around. And because the 2 and the 1 are quite adjacent to the 12, the 1 looks as if it's going to go now, then it'd be quite handy to get to that, to one of them as your second last ball. Clearly now it's not going to be the 1 ball. The other problem now is he's still got this ball right in the middle diamond on the bottom rail here as we look. Now, if he just sort of stops the cue ball somewhere around here and plays the 3, well, he's come back up the table. That's not bad. That will do nicely. He just needs to let this open out a bit more so he's got a better angle. And that's better. That's much better. That's exactly where you want to be sitting. So now you can do a bit more damage here on the break shot. Cue ball coming down into the kitchen. But he has options available, so all is good. The run is 31. And with the prospects of a few more to come. Now, again, you've got that 6 ball tucked away at the back of those other 2. And you know, you can't get to any of them to go up table, so he's going to need one wee nudge here to deal with this issue. And, oh, that's what you don't want to do. He might be dead. He is dead in the water. Oh, can he get to that 14? I think he can. I think he can bail out in the 14. Oh, he is lucky. I've had my tea. I told you earlier on this afternoon I was going to have my tea before this started because I don't want to get it if it finishes at the back of 7. I don't want to be having any tea at that time. And I can't remember what I've had, but it was oh, what the hell was it again? It was oh, what do you call it? It was a shredded beef. Was it shredded beef ragu in a white with white wine in it in the sauce? It was lovely. So I had a pasta dish basically, because that only took 8.5 minutes in the microwave. That's called man living alone food. Aye, it is my tea. Well, I had a cup of coffee after it, which I finished quite some time ago. But no, I don't have 3-course meals. I just have something to fill me up, to take me to bed and get back up to work the next day. That's the grind that I'm in. Now, if that camera has jumped to that position there, I never touched anything. I never touched anything at all. And yet the camera's jumped up the table like that. That's just done that straight off the bat there. Both my arms were on the arm of my chair when that happened there. I never touched that. That's weird. You do see some weird things happening in computer games. Well, not long till Inzoi gets released. There's loads of videos now appearing on YouTube with this sort of modern day version of The Sims. It's getting loads of publicity. The big hype train has started. I'll wait to see if a version falls off the back of a lorry and I'll test it out. Well, there's a missed combo by Fast Eddie. So Fast Eddie's visit ends on 40. His high run today. And Misken is still very much in touch here. He is not out of the game. Well, we need to have a quick look at this 9 because I think that's too far at the back of the pack, is it? Well, I think you can work with that. That'll do. And again, he's got a good opportunity to get good on this 9 ball. Don't want to go too straight in the 3. That'll do nicely as long as he's potting it into the corner here. I mean, if he pots it into the side, the cue ball's come in this direction, which is still good as well. So it's all about just judging the pace and not overhitting this. It's leaking away too far. Yeah, it's just leaking away too far. Okay, yes, you can still get the hit, but you don't want to be playing that from there. You want to be playing that from sort of there. But it will do. And in it goes. Cue ball stays on the table. And, well, the balls seem to sort of split and then come together again. But anyway, there's enough loose balls running around to work with to get started. And the angle to run through and do a bit more damage. Well, I know what I'd be doing next. I would very much be playing that and then getting a 14 and just dealing with it. I mean, you don't necessarily have to deal with the 14 now that I've looked and saw that 6-8's a combo as well. So if this cue ball slows up, it could do with that right now. He's gone a bit too far. But that would have been the 2 balls to play. But as long as he spotted that, then he knows it's there and he can get to it. But you know, right now, if you're going to get to it, you don't want to be getting to it really from this side. But the other problem is the 4 ball would be the sort of best ball at the moment for a break ball. And he's right through the gap, would you believe it? Well, now he's getting himself in a bit of trouble here. He needs to sort of steady the ship a wee bit here. Now, the shot for me would be the 12 ball and get down good onto that 9 so I can go through. He had an opportunity there. He's got another opportunity, although he's slightly the wrong side of the 12. He's going about it a different way, but he's got to get... He's trying to bump it this way. This'll work in a sense, but he didn't really need to do that. The combo was on. The 14 at the back of the pack went. And now the bump has brought the 9 into play, though. The 9 is now the favoured ball for the break shot. And if he can just drop through off the 4, he can get rid of that 7 or the 6. So it's taken shape. Probably not the way I would have done it, but then again, I'm no expert. Right, now... Well, you would think that one of the balls up top would be the best bet for getting good on this 9, wouldn't you? So I would prefer to get rid of the 6 and deal with those 2 balls up top, because you've got a fairly comfortable shot to get a nice angle on this 9. This really shouldn't be a big task. But my first priority here would be get the cue ball up the table. Now, the angle he's got is perfect, but he really should be getting this cue ball, you know, up to sort of there, almost just on the middle of the table. That'll do. It's just a wee bit less than where I would have preferred to be, that wee bit closer, but it will work. Well, again, you don't want to just land on top of something. He's had a bump. He's still got a shot, though. Run goes to 19. He could be beating his high run for the second time in the match. Going to be hampered, but still okay. Oh dear. Well, you know, he got over ambitious there. Thought he could squeeze enough out of that 15 ball. He probably could, but he took a chunk of whatever was sitting next to it. The 3 ball, yeah, he didn't do anything to make the angle there to get the proper hit in that 15. And well, I jinxed him. The run ends in 20. So Fast Eddie comes to the table still in the lead after his last visit of 40. He's looking to capitalise on that mistake from Misken. Well, would you believe it? Oh, that's a complete disaster. A complete disaster. How do you miss a 7 ball like that? He's obviously trying to do all sorts of cheating here with the cue ball, and the ultimate disaster is he's also scratched. So, didn't put anything on the scoreboard, put 1 on the scoreboard and lost that, and he's left Misken back in. Well, this is an untidy performance so far from Fast Eddie, it has to be said. But you know, if you can get away with something like that in this match, that's all very well. But you ain't going to get away with that probably in his next match, whoever that's going to be, provided he does get through it. Because you're going to be doing an awful lot of sitting down and watching from the mistakes he's made so far. Again, not sure what Misken played for there, whether he played for the 7 or whether he played for the 14. But this is, like I say, by the way, a lot of lesser experienced players probably go about their straight pull, where they just sort of, you know, let the cue ball do its thing, and they're bound to be on a ball of some description when there's loads of balls on the table, and then the run doesn't last much longer than that. And again, he's overhit it. Overhit it slightly, still got a bailout ball, but now we need to look at this combo, because that might be what he has to do to get to continue the run. Well, he's played the 5 into the side. I thought he was going to go the 12 into the corner there, or the 13, sorry. Well, problem is he ain't got a break ball unless he left the 7 there for the back of the pack. Well, it's gone. These balls they are possibilities, but I wouldn't say they're ideal, the 2 that are there. The 1 ball's already in the pack, that's no good. So the chances of this rack or this visit continuing are not great right now. Well, a little nudge in the 10 has brought it through. Again, it's comfortably away from the pack, and this cue ball's running, and it needs to keep running. It needs to keep going. Well, again, it's a bit shallow, but he's going to have to hammer this to get much joy. Yeah, it's just dropped dead onto the pack. Again, just like a brick wall, it just kills the cue ball stone dead, just because it was too shallow an angle. And, well, I would take the foul here. I would just dab that cue ball onto the pack and do no damage. I would dab it. He's got a touch like an absolute sledgehammer. I mean, that was thumped when it just needed a dab. And there is a combo right there, although what makes him think he can get to it? Yeah, he's changed his mind on that. I mean, that's, again, stone dead. But the 7 ball up the table is comfortable enough. I don't see where the problem is there. He managed to hit half the ball and get the combo. So again, a promising table and another combo the other side. Well, that's very handy. In fact, there's 2 combos sitting there. One certainly needs to be made a little bit more, that 3 ball, but the 2 balls going to the far side of the pocket as well. In fact, it's shaped up and straightened up. Now, 5 ball for the break shot. It's a bit tight to the pack. 6 ball could work as well. And there are, at the moment, there's options behind the pack. Now, we've got 1 ball down the table here, this 11 ball, which again would be handy for getting to the break shot. So he might leave that 11 ball there if he's already got the roadmap in his head. Deal with the trouble he has up top, and then leave this 11 as his penultimate ball to get to the break shot. That could be the theory and the plan here at the moment. Well, if he's blocked himself off here, he might have to bail out on it. I think he might have to bail out on this ball. So it's now going to be plan B or C. Because I don't believe this is what he wanted to do. I think he was looking to clear something there, but they're all blocking each other. So now something else is going to have to be brought to the table. So 5, you would clearly suggest, is the nominated break ball. And, well, from this side, this 4 and 8 are no good. And it's a bit of a tight space to work around in here. Needs to get a little nudge, I think. One more nudge, unless you got really into a spot here. But this is far too tight to rely on that, on one chance of getting there. And I think he's missed a hit as well. I think he tried to spin and chip that 4 ball and he's missed it. So now it's getting a wee bit kind of panicky that he's going to be able to get out of this here. And that 3 ball bin there is a big hindrance. Now 14 he can get. He can play the 3-4 combo and he may well have to bite the bullet here and go for it, but he's not doing it. He's going to probably take the 14-3 and then try and cut that 4. And that 5 ball is really not great where it's sitting as a break ball. It could end up in the 8 ball as a break ball. And, well, he can certainly leave himself enough room to get to that 4. I don't think the 8 goes. Well, he's got to be careful how this cue ball comes off this 8 here. So this may well be a struggle to get out here. Keep this visit going. Of course, the 8 ball gets banked up the table. For now, limited choices. You can come through bottom side of the 8 ball here and run forward into the pack, but again, you're not going to have a great deal of momentum to do an awful lot of damage, I don't think. I mean, he could try and get the cue ball into the triangle and play from the kitchen, but well, he's got an angle in the 5. He needs to really get into the meat of these 2 balls at the head of the pack here, if he can. Well, he caught them good enough. Well, he's going to have to probably cut the 6. He can see the 6. You can cut it, and I think if I'm him, I'm giving this a smack to try and get a bump in them with the opportunity that I had there. He's content to wait, but looking at the way these are sitting, they're sitting a bit ugly. I would have been giving that a good smack right off the bat because I had the opportunity to do it, and you might not get as good as that again. So 10 ball into the side. He's got a slight angle to do a little nudge. You just got to be careful how you get. If you come off an edge there, you could follow through and scratch off this. You just got to be careful. And there you go. You see how, again, he was lined up and then he done the quick jack up of the cue to play the stunt, and then he misses the shot into the side because of it. Because he may well have not centred that cue tip up when he jacked up and put it down and then let go. So another bad shot by Fast Eddie. The run ends in 16 and he cannot get away from Misken, and he does not want this to start backfiring on him as it gets deeper into this match. If he cannot get a sort of a big telling visit, another 40-50, he needs, the pressure will start building on him if it's not already building on him. Now, I thought Misken had fallen asleep there, probably back at the table unexpectedly. But Eddie's already made far too many errors to suggest that he's going to go deep in this tournament, it has to be said. He's made far too many unforced errors. And he's really got to tidy himself up. And as long as Misken just makes the most of what he's getting here and does it sensibly, he's going to stay in touch, very much so. But he's been given every opportunity to do so, that's the thing about it. Well, that again, almost threatened to go pear-shaped. He's still okay. But he could have been tucked right in the back onto that 7 there with nothing. So he's nudged the third. Is that the 13? I think it is. 9 ball again, sitting close to the pack. Can be used as a break ball. Well, looks as if the break ball, or the possible break ball, is going to go here. And, oh no, I thought he was going to take that. Obviously, he could see the other one, so he's took it instead. But he's back to square one. He's back to exactly the same position. And he's going to be forced into taking this. Just outside the pack, it would have worked as a break ball. So now we're already on to plan B, and he's now going to have to take the next possible break ball, the last one that's there at the back of the pack. He's going to have to take that. But he can get good on this 7 to blast the 7 and get the angle into the pack here. He has an opportunity to do that.
Where's the cue ball going?
And that'll do. That'll do. I don't think he really needs to blast this. He just needs to get... Doesn't want to get the meat of the pack. If he does that, he could end up dead again. Well, a ball has come out. That'll do. He's got a ball. But when you're cutting these, you just got to be careful that you're controlling the cue ball, because this cue ball can easily just leak up table and scratch if you're not thinking about it. Got to be careful.
Where's the cue ball going?
Commentators, I don't say I never warned you guys. I could see that happening a mile away, and again, he couldn't, and that's the problem. The little voice has got to be playing in your head. that cue ball's going in a horrible direction unless you take evasive manoeuvres, and that's a sucker scratch, I call that, because that's an odds-on thing that's going to happen if you don't take evasive manoeuvres with the cue ball. And Misken, I'm afraid, he walked straight into the trap. He set the trap himself and he put his foot right in it. And again, in doing so, he has left Fast Eddie off the hook. But this is a bit of an ugly table at the moment. And Fast Eddie's got work to do. And, well, this is tight. He can certainly get enough of the one to pot it, no doubt about that. But he's running out of balls to pot here. Now, he might want to just dab this through. Well, he didn't do anything to actually make the angle in the one. He didn't tweak it enough. Well, let's just say that this is not Fast Eddie's best performance in straight pull. I think he would agree with that. But again, Misken is right on his tailcoat here, or his coattails, coattails, and goes back into the lead, although he might not be getting much more here, the way this is sitting. Not a lot. Now, what this calls for is just a little safety. This is what's required here. But he's going to get crazy. Yeah, this is what you don't do. He's got crazy. He's got the pot. Fair play to him. And he's got a shot to follow up. So he's been what you would call brave. I would call it losing a screw. But he's got lucky this time. But maybe the other thing is that Misken is feeling a lot more relaxed, that Eddie isn't getting away from him, and he's been allowed to settle in a bit more, and he's becoming more comfortable the longer he's getting opportunities. He's had loads of opportunities. He's not been sort of locked out with, you know, a big run. Fast Eddie's high run for the match is 40. And with a high run of 40, he's now sitting behind Misken at the moment. And Misken's high run for the match is just that, 23. But if you can just do dribs and drabs and the stronger guy isn't putting anything together, once it gets down to that nitty-gritty time, then it can be anybody's match. And that's what Fast Eddie is dreading. And I think that's playing in his mind. He needs to get all of that stuff out of his head and actually play some straight pull here. That's what he needs to do. Now, the better players will be aware of that and do that. You know, they'll shake themselves down and think, listen, come on, we're arsing about here. We're going to have to get organised. Well, this is a bit straight in the 2-ball. It's a bit straight, but you can give this a good stun and get the cue ball out. Well, he actually had a bit more angle to work with than I thought. So here we go. Big shot coming up again. So we're still waiting on Misken breaking his high run for the second time. And he's good to go. Got some balls into play. This doesn't want to be too straight. Well, it's fine. Now you could take the 10. You could just drop back for the 3 after the 10. Oh.
Where's the cue ball going?
Again, that's a really poor shot. Really poor. Again, you've got to be able to see that sort of stuff happening if you're letting that cue ball run forward onto another ball and you're so close to the corner pocket. That was not wise, shall we say. Let's just be diplomatic and say it was not very well thought out. And again, for about the 5th time, Fast Eddie's been let off the hook. And Eddie really must be looking at punishing Misken here. I don't know that he's finished all that great from that shot either. I think he's almost dead in the water here again. He's going to have to nip in a cut here on this 14. He has finished probably the worst position you could finish. But he has one shot to bail out on. And the pressure's on. And, oh dear, cue ball's gone. Oh, disaster.
Where's the cue ball going?
That's twice he scratched, trying to play a cut shot. And Misken again comes to the table, and he could be in 3 figures here before Larry sort of gets out of bed. Not Larry, Fast Eddie gets out of bed. All these Americans look the same to me. I just call them all Larry. Misken needs to realise the position that he's finding himself in here and make the most of it if he can. But he's got to cut out these obvious glaring errors that he's making. Yeah, well, he's got a bump. He's now got a possible nominated break ball at the back of the pack with the 5 ball being there, those 2 in the triangle. And so these are both blocked by the 4 and the 9. And there goes the break ball. Now he has one option where he could cut that 10. If he stayed in the table, he could cut the 10 and get across and bump these balls that way. Although he could just come over here and play the combo. I mean, that's a very reasonable combo that's sat there right now. So they don't need to be bumped. But he's got to get himself over there. And this is far too straight, but he's going to the back to get rid of the 4. Now, if he nips round the other side and has a look, he'll see that the combo's on. So I'm hoping that he has done. Well, you would like to think he already knows that that's a combo and that's what he should be playing for. We're about to find out if he has. And clearly he hasn't. He had no idea. Oh shit, I apologise. I forgot there was a ball down table. I take it all back. I forgot there was a 14 ball there. I'll let him away with that one. I won't let him away with this one though. He might have overhit it. Is he? No, he's okay. Well, he's getting there. The plant or the combo is still on. But he's not going to play it. So now he has a problem with 2 balls in the rack. And that 7 ball is going to go up onto the break spot. Or is it the head spot you guys call it? This is 2 rails to get a nudge. And he's getting nothing. But he's got his 12 points. Just 1 short of 3 figures. Now he wants to keep this pack tight. That'll do. Now Fast Eddie's brave enough. He's going to feather these and run to the long grass, try and get as close to this bottom rail as he can. Well, he's got distance, and it still makes a shot at this distance a lot more difficult to execute without bringing balls into play. But if he hits that on that side, he's going to bring the 5 into play, certainly. Now, that's not bad. It's not bad. Could have done with a wee bit more running, but it will do. Now, is there anything there in that stack of balls. Not really at the moment, from what I can see. Well, he thinks he's seen something. What's he called? The 10?
Where's the cue ball going?
Well,
Where's the cue ball going?
The 10 ball did head towards the corner pocket, but it went straight onto the rail. And what happened there? Did I miss something? Misken back at the table? See, this is what happens to me when I get concentrated on the pack of balls and somebody misses a turn and I end up getting totally confused. But anyway, Misken's now into 3 figures and got loads of balls to choose from here. So we've not really got what you would say is an ideal break ball. That 9 ball's a wee bit far away from the pack, but it would have to do. Well, he's changed his mind here. Well, this match has already been on for an hour and about an hour and 8 minutes. And that match earlier on today between Acero and Miasma was sort of barely 90 minutes, I think. In fact, I think it was less than that. Well, Fast Eddie's got to be scratching his head here, thinking how he's ended up in this position. He's almost 30 points behind, and the further he goes behind and the deeper into the match we go, the more pressure builds up on him. Misken shouldn't be under any pressure whatsoever. He just needs to try and make the most of what he can get, because the mistakes are happening from Eddie, and they're keeping Misken in this match. Well, does this 8 ball go as a combo? Well, that is unmissable. That is completely unmissable, that 8 ball. That is absolutely stone dead. So that can be left well alone for the time being, unless he thinks he has to take it now. I don't know why, though. The 5 ball remains in the rack, and there's nothing that's really ideal as a break ball. This is going to go nowhere. We're going to have to take the 6 up the rail. Well, there is a possibility for a break shot. There's a possibility there. But again, the straighter you go in this, the less chance you have of getting in and out of this. This is far too straight. Yeah, you can blast this, or you can do what he's just done and took his medicine, take the ball and then just duck for cover, and that's the right thing to do. I mean, to me, that's a sensible shot. You know, why try and be some sort of hero And, you know, when Fast Eddie's already got a sweat on, why not just let him sweat a bit more? And let him be the aggressor. Let him have to try and force the game, because as he's been doing it, he's been making mistakes. So Misken's got the right idea there. Just take what you can get and then run. And again, getting reasonable distance on the safety. But has he left a shot on? Well, nothing looks on from this side. But that 7 ball, that 12-6-7 looks favourite if Eddie's going to be aggressive. But I don't think he's looked at it, or he's looked at it and decided against it. He's maybe had his fingers burned twice already in this match. But I'm pretty certain that 7 is on. I'm needing a lot of convincing not to have a go at that myself. And I think he's had second thoughts, or he's listened to the stream, one of the two. But he's finally looked at it. Well, I think you've got to play the 12, aye. Well, this is a big shot. It's aggressive, but you've got to do something to get yourself into this match. And in it goes, and the bonus ball goes in as well, the 8 ball. So the commentator's eye spotted it. Fast Eddie took his time, but he got there in the end. And with 8 ball going in, I think he's still got the 15 as a backup ball, but he really needs to do a bit of nudging here. And that'll do. That's brought a couple into play. But this is a big visit for Fast Eddie. He's got a deficit here that he needs to wipe out. And he's not going to be in the match again until he does that, really. He's really got to get his work ahead of him. Well, that shot there's just opened things up a bit more for him. And he's got certainly at least 2 break balls. Well, no, probably 1. I thought that 10 ball might have been in play, but it isn't. Or it looks far too tight to the pack. But the 5 ball will work. Well, he's been very deliberate. You get the impression that he's trying desperately not to make mistakes, but sometimes when you get into that frame of mind, that's when you become even more vulnerable. We'll see if it works out for him. Suddenly my chat isn't working. I've just realised there's chat. There's chat on the live stream that I'm not seeing on my phone. Hang on a minute. Do you pay for Sky Sports? No, I don't. I got rid of Sky more than 10 years ago. And I got rid of it for financial reasons. It was too expensive back then, and it's far too expensive now. And I don't watch anything of enough television to justify paying for that. And that was the right decision at the time. And I'm in no desperate hurry to change my mind and ever go back to them. Far too expensive. And any time I want to watch a big Premier League match, I'll watch it on a stream. Easy enough to find a stream. So, critical point in the rack again arrives for Fast Eddie. So, dropping this 12 ball in should leave him the angle, and the angle is perfect. Now, can he get a breakout and not scratch? Well, he shouldn't really be scratching at this setup, as long as he just gets a hold of the cue ball enough. But he doesn't want to be fizzing this cue ball, fizzing it really loose. Just want to keep it into the table. Again, he's been over elaborate here, getting himself set up.
Where's the cue ball going?
And that's the danger. Cue ball running loose again. And again, when it comes off that stack at that angle, you look at the line of that angle, the triangle, the cue ball can only go one direction. It comes off the wall of balls and it'll come that way. And he's lucky, very lucky he didn't scratch again. But he's still at the table. And more importantly, though, he is still in deficit. But he has shots to carry on. Oh, he's dead straight, I think, on this 15 ball. I know he's got a slight angle he can manufacture from it. But that 8 ball's a problem ball. You need rid of that because it's a blocker again. And you would want to get onto the 14, get onto the 11 to play the breakout in those 4 balls. He's looking as if he's trying it here. Yeah. And again, cue ball heading towards that side pocket, but these 3 balls have all still married themselves up again in the little triangle. So he's going to have to do it off the 1 ball, just a little brush. You don't need to slam the 1 ball in, you just need to pot the 1 ball soft enough that you're taking a fair chunk of the 9 ball and just opening things up. But he looks as if he's playing the 8 ball. I don't understand why he's playing the 8 ball. Is he trying to nudge the 1 ball into the stack of them, into the little triangle? Why not play the 1 ball and just brush into them? You're bound to be on a ball, either that one or something there. Just a little brush. That's all this needs. I mean, if you hit that with enough weight, it's going to push the 12 into play. And just be a nice little gap. Just like that. And now, now everything is available. The 9 ball goes, everything's on. Problem has been dealt with. And now you have to then focus on the break ball, which would be that. That's more than likely it. And then work your way around that. But you've got to get around this side fairly sharpish to deal with these, because they're open to play, but only from the one side. So you've got to get there sooner. And he can do that right now. why don't you get a chipped Fire Stick? Because I've got no idea about Fire Sticks. I don't know where I would buy one, and do I watch enough television to bother getting a Fire Stick? The answer to that, I'm afraid, is no, I don't. So you're not selling to the converted here. I don't watch anywhere near enough television to even think about that or want to do it. Or let's put it this way: if I had that idea, I would have had that idea a long time ago and already had one. So it's not really anything that appeals to me. And as the years have gone by, I definitely watch a lot less telly, but that's predominantly because of my working life nowadays. You know, I get home, I have something to eat, I have a snack, I fall asleep, I do a live stream, I go to bed, I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I go to work, I come back, I have a snack, I fall asleep. You know, it's just the same cycle. Like tonight, I'm back to work tomorrow at 4 a.m. or up at 4 a.m. anyway. And likewise for tomorrow night, after the match with Cobra and Cheeky Chico, which starts at 7 p.m, the same story again. Off to bed we go, up to work we go. But I do know that I've got that other week, the first week of the World Snooker Championships, I've got that week off, so that's not that far away. Just 2 or 3 weeks away now. Yeah, well, just double check he's not hiding in the stream, because you never know. So Fast Eddie is in the early stages of putting maybe a bit more significant run together here. It really is the early stages. He's still trailing Misken. So the first part of the deal is, the first part of the objective is to get rid of that deficit and get himself into a positive number in front. So 3 ball, sitting perfect for the break shot. Now if he just see, he's got a bit more angle in this 6 than he would actually like. So you just got to control the cue ball. Now this needs to slow up, because again it's opening out and it's getting very shallow. But he's close enough to the pack where he should be able to loosen something out here. Well, that 8 at the back of the bunch there is on. But these are all rock solid. Now, what about that? Now, there's nothing set there at all. There's nothing doing with that cluster of balls. And if he comes down the table cutting this 6 ball in, then he has a bailout ball on the right side of the table. In fact, he's got a couple of them. He might be playing the 8 to go through the gap for the 6, but if he comes down the table... Now again, you'll see the difference here with Misken playing this shot and Fast Eddie playing this shot. I do not expect Fast Eddie to scratch. Well, he's played to actually bump the 4 to hold the cue ball and obviously try to get a little nudge. Well, he's not really been all that successful, but what he has done is he's got a set there with the 4 ball, which actually would have been perfect for a break ball, but it will be perfect to break them if he can't find another solution. So once again, he's in a position here where he has to act quickly, I think, to get some sort of shape on that 4 ball, or do something that he's going to get a nudge in these balls, or he's going to run out of opportunities to get there. Now, he can do it now if he takes a 5 down the table into this corner pocket, and if he then finishes up here with the cue ball, then he can get the breakout with a 4. Now, why is he looking at the 2? See, to me, the shot is roll that up the table, get high enough on that 4 ball. Well, again, he's got opportunities to get there off the 15. If he just rolls through to sort of there, into the donut, we'll give him 9.5 out of 10 for that. That's perfect, pretty much. And this will deal with the issue. But you don't want to create another issue as well by rolling balls onto another ball near the rail. That's always the danger here. Well, he's nudged him soft enough. He's sitting good in the 7. So now the little exercise in getting rid of that 14 ball, that has to go. And he can do that by nudging onto the 1. Well, I'm not 100% convinced what he was trying to do. I'm not 100% sure, but the 1 clearly goes. But that was something you want to keep there as a break ball, because it's sitting ideal for a break shot. It's a wee bit tighter than you probably want to the pack, but he's looking around for alternatives, but he might not have one. I mean, the 5 ball will still be passable as a break ball. Well, he's on 35. He's 1 behind at the moment. And again, taking an inordinate amount of time over this 1 ball. Now he's back to looking around at other alternatives or whatever. I don't know what the hell is going through his head, but he's overthinking this. I mean, pot the 1. Get rid of the 14. And then, ideally, he wants to get around onto this 10 ball as well. Get rid of that, because that's no good where it's sitting. And that will do. He avoided the little bump onto it. He can drop through, get rid of the 11. And then it's full concentration on getting ideal on this 5 ball for the breakout. And you've got to work hard and think all the time. You've got to be on the ball all the time. The thought processes have to be clear about where you're going before you make a move in this game. It's the one way in any game that you can then construct runs together. Now this could get ugly. Well, that's ended up tightish, but there's plenty of room. There's plenty of room off the jaw for this 12 ball. And would you believe it? He's just saw the 9 ball double in size and ran it straight into it. Well, he's not really playing with a great deal of confidence, Eddie. You can sense that from him. He wasn't all that convincing when he shot that. It's been nervy. And again, having just got himself slightly into the lead, he's now on a sweat again. Misken is very much in touch. And if he can get the cue ball out of here, well, he's running away again a bit too far, but he's still got the angle. But he's nailed to the rail now. He's going to have to dig in here a bit. You want to be sort of there. You never want to be there playing a break shot if you can help it. But he's got it. He didn't even think about it twice. Now this is easy because that's dead, stone dead combo. You can't miss that. As hard as you try, you're never going to miss that combo. So you can leave that well alone. That's a bailout ball shot there. You don't need to touch them. You stay well away from them until you get an emergency where you have to play them. You see, he's straight at it now. I wouldn't be touching them right now. I'd be leaving them as a bailout. I would never touch them at this stage because I'm looking to get opportunities off of these balls to deal with this situation. And what he's just done there is just potted a ball. He's not really achieved a great deal by doing it. You know, he had opportunities to get to these first. And I think that's what I'd have been focusing on. You know, they weren't creating a major issue where they were sitting. They only would create an issue if they ended up blocking balls once you'd opened this bunch, but he's nowhere near that yet. So I don't see anything that is workable here at all in this this setup. He very much needs a bump. There's nothing doing at all in that set of balls. If you were here, you can certainly play the 14 up table. If you're there, you can play it up table and break them out. Then you begin to wonder, has he looked at anything like that? Because, well, maybe that's what he was trying to do there, trying to get in behind the 14, but missed the pot. So Misken's visit is only 10, but he's back in front. And now Eddie's got the problem. Can he cut that 10 and check the cue ball off the rail and get a bump onto these balls? I think that's his only option at the moment. Yeah, he's got the thin cut and he can certainly get a hit, but he's also sitting pretty good in the 15. I think he's got to go now. He's got to go now for this. This is ideal to get these nudged out. Doesn't need to hammer it. Just need to loosen them up. I might have hammered it a wee bit more than that. Now, can he get enough of the 13? I think he might just be able to. It's tight. I think he can get there, though. He's taking a lot of convincing, though, himself, but I'm pretty certain he can get in there and pot that. No problem. There's room to do it. Now he's going to have to bail out in the 10 ball. So we're struggling for a break ball here. That 14 is very much at the back end of the pack and pretty close to the rack as well. So Eddie still trailing, and we're halfway through this match, well beyond halfway. And we are also 95 minutes almost into this match. Good evening to Tyler A. Welcome aboard. I'm trying to get a drink in my new 5-litre bottle of water. The only problem is the actual carrying strap is snapped, and so it's difficult lifting a 5-litre bottle of water to your mouth without spilling it all over your mic. I'll just mute myself so you don't hear me. Well, that 10 ball's tight to the pack. Is it still going to be legal? Oh, yes, it is. It's well away from it. Or did he get a nudge on it? I don't know. Maybe he did. But he looks a bit straight again. Yeah, he's got a very shallow angle again. Well, he's got to get some hammer into this to get some movement. Well, the cue ball's gone forward, but that'll do. It's still live, and he's got shots. Well, you would never say, looking at this, that Fast Eddie's hit any sort of rhythm where, you know, there's not a lot of thought required. You know, he's fallen into place. He's doing an awful lot of thinking. at times. Maybe sometimes changing your pace can settle you in a bit more, I don't know. But he's certainly not at a desperate stage yet. The only thing he's desperate to do is to get a bit. Again, he's lashed at that 6 ball. And look what he's left here. I mean, this is Christmas come early for Misken again, and Eddie's only got a 3-point lead again, so we're back to square one. And Misken can pop balls to his heart content here. He's got points all over the place here. And he's got a break ball. And I think Eddie's getting a bit frustrated with himself. Who's playing tonight, Coldest Pillow, in the snooker? Because it starts in... well, the actual match won't start till about 7 o'clock. I think the live coverage starts about 7:15. Who's playing tonight? Well, do me a favour, find out. I know that what's his name was playing. Oh, is it Trump Murphy? That'll be a good match. I'll be looking forward to it. That's where I'm heading soon after this is over. Because Selby and what's his name, Neil Robertson were playing this afternoon. It was a bit of a grind, that match. Yeah. Well, Misken on a run of 7, so Misken's got another opportunity to try and get his new high run. He's already beat it once. Free ball is going to remain there for the break ball. And I think he's almost got on the 6. Zhao Gudong. Yeah, Higgins scraped through that match with what's his name? I saw the end of that match on YouTube. Well, I'm very surprised that he played for the break ball there. Very surprised. Because this is no good to him. And he's actually missed the pot, would you believe it? And, well, I think Eddie's going to struggle. I mean, he could cut the 11 and try and run it into the 2 rails to come around the back of the pack and get a hit. But this is awkward the way this is sitting. Aye, Chris Wakelin, yeah. I mean, that red that he missed, was it the red that he missed along the back cushion? And you can see when he played the pot, he was well off the cushion. And those corner pockets don't give you anything. Well, this is awkward, really. He might be trying the 1 rail. And he's got it. It's come out pretty good, but has he got a shot? Well, he's got a dodgy cut in the 2 ball. He's got a very dodgy cut in the 2 ball. He's got nothing else, though. He has got nothing else. He can't see enough of that 1, I don't think. But the 1 doesn't go anywhere, so what the hell am I looking at the 1 ball for? Yeah, this is horrible. I think if you thin cut that 1, you're going tight into that corner pocket around the angles, I think. But that's his only shot he's got. You might even, let me have a look at how that's coming off. I don't know whether he's going to come and catch the 5, but it looks to me if he just plays it soft and thin, he's going to go tight into the corner. Well, in fact, he did hit the 13.
Where's the cue ball going?
And it's another disaster for Fast Eddie. This must have been about the 3rd or 4th time he's let the cue ball run loose and he's scratched from it. when's he going to learn? You've got to control the cue ball. And he hit that far too hard, in my opinion. He should have hit that a lot softer. And once again, we're back to square one. I mean, this is just a horrible sequence of events that's happening here for Fast Eddie, because Misken's back at the table. He's missed a sitter over the corner pocket. Eddie got in from it, got a bump in the pack, didn't come out good. And now he's missed the pot, and Misken's back in with very little damage been done to him, and now he's already in a 10-point lead again. And this again too shallow, but he's got a lot of top in the cue ball, and he's broke some balls free. Well, if you look at this line of balls from this side, there's nothing needs to be bumped. You just got to clear the blocking balls, and at the moment he's struggling for a pot, and he's got a bump. The 14 came to the rescue, and everything's good. Now this is where you look at the table, you say, well, where's my break ball? And there isn't really one there that's comfortable. Not really. And it's unlikely that he's going to bump anything really into a better position. Not the way these are sitting. But Misken may well be doing what he's done in a couple of occasions. Just take what's there and then run for cover. And I don't disagree with that at all, because, you know, he's maybe learning just to play within his limitations, that he doesn't have the experience of straight pull, judging by obviously his high run. He doesn't have that sort of experience, but he's got enough experience to know common sense when he sees it. And if he can just take what he can get and duck and leave Fast Eddie very little, that'll just force Fast Eddie to try and push the boat out a wee bit further again. So Misken's doing the right thing. Just take what you can get. And I think that 4-ball might be sitting good now. That 4-ball will most certainly do. But he's nailed himself to the 2. He's going to have to bail out because he can't see the 3. And the ideal break ball, or at least the best nominated one, is probably going to go right now. Well, the one thing that we can say with definite assurance is that the high run for the tournament won't be going in the remainder of this match. We're well beyond that. So Acero's high run will stand. That needs to, well, it needs to either stay at that angle where he can go forward to the rail and check it into the pack, or it needed to keep going this sort of line. But this is doable. But he didn't get the spin in the cue ball. Didn't get anywhere near it at all. In fact, it ended up just being played more like a stun. So Fast Eddie can bank the 15 up the table and just stay at the back of the pack. He can certainly do that. And this time Misken's contribution was 13, but the fact that he wasn't successful there actually did himself a favour by not doing any damage and leaving Eddie with nothing. So Eddie just doing the most obvious shot you can do in that situation, just tucking the cue ball up. And this is where you have to be careful. I think that 1-ball, that 9-ball goes. Yes, it does go. He didn't get anywhere near it, but it did go. And we need to look at the 1-ball at the far end of the pack there now. That's not set. There's nothing set there. Well, there's nobody watching this have at any point during the match come up with any prediction in the score. And I think the more you've watched this, the more you're now thinking, well, this could go anyway, this match. Because Eddie just simply hasn't been good enough to get away from Misken. He has been struggling all through the match. Misken's, you know, pretty much scoring as many in each visit as I thought he would, from the fact that he doesn't play the game. But he's just doing enough to stay in touch each time. And he's actually 20 points in front of Fast Eddie right now. Well, this could be a good shot. That's a very well played shot. Got cover behind the stack. Well, when I'm watching straight pool, I'm far from falling asleep. I get engrossed with it. Well, that's going to be a missed call. And again, Misken must have a sledgehammer in his pool case, because he has hammered those balls wide open. Has he got away with it, though? I think he may well have got away with this. Eddie can't get to the 4 ball. The cue ball's nailed to the 14, and I think Misken has escaped here. No, there's not a thing on. There's not a thing on. He can't get to the 10. Well, he can, but that's even more awkward. And he's just playing the foul. And if I'm Misken, I'm doing exactly the same thing. That's what I'm doing. But he's going to leave this 8 ball on if he's not careful. And has Eddie covered that 4 ball? Because Eddie's didn't move anything there. And Misken should be looking to do something very similar. And he's opened it up. He's left it loose. And Eddie's got a shot. And that's a little intricate use of the deliberate foul situation there by Eddie, and it's worked out in his favour. Well, he's lucky again, because that cue ball could have been stuck right in behind the 15, but he's fine. And again, running loose with the cue ball, gets a bonus 8 ball, but he's now in play with shots available to him. And one annoying blocking ball, which is that, and you've got the 12, the pink 12, which looks as if it's in the rack, and the 1 ball as well. So they're all dead and buried, those balls, where they're sitting. There's nothing there that's a break ball. I think he's on the 1. Yeah, I think that's all he's on. I mean, that 12 ball will go, but it's tight. So he has the 1 ball, but not a lot else. Well, the nudge there has now almost set up a combo with the 6 and 12, but the 7 ball is a blocker. But that 12 ball, I'm convinced, is going at the moment more towards the jaw. Although it's unlikely that it'll be played as a combo, it's easy to get to the open side of them from this side. So already, Fast Eddie's looking at his route plan as to how he's getting there. Because there's nothing, as it is right now, that is a usable break ball, really. Not ideal. The only option would be cutting the 2 and running into the side of the pack, really. If you were down here, you could cut the 13 and run into the pack off the rail.
Where's the cue ball going?
And another disaster from Fast Eddie. Cue ball running loose again, and stunned it straight into the corner pocket. And once again, it is the story of this match. Eddie can't get himself into a real scoring position and be consistent. Excuse me, now I've got the hiccups after having a drink. And Eddie's visit was 7, and that 7 still leaves him short of Misken. And Misken might have fallen asleep or gone to the bathroom, although he hasn't said anything in the chat that he is. I think he might have assumed that Eddie was going to be at the table for a little bit longer than he was there. So we're now an hour and 51 minutes into this match, and it's going to be a bit longer than that. Yeah, he had to take a bathroom break. I'm probably surprised that he's back at the table. So now he can get to the shorter side of those 2 balls and get rid of one of them. The 9 ball, from where it's finished, would have to do as a break ball, or at least it's a better option now. And he's dead in the water. Would you believe it? He has absolutely killed everything there with 1 stroke. He's got a dodgy cut in the 11 to stay at the table, but he's completely blocked out on everything here. The pink 12 really doesn't go. That's never potting at that angle where he's sitting. And the 7's blocking that, and the 9's blocked with the 2, and that's all he has available to him. And he's got it. He's bailed out well. The 9 ball is still sitting where it's been, and he can work with this. Well, I'm pretty certain that with a lot of people not having seen Misken play this game, and a lot of people looking at what Misken's high run was, like me, they would have assumed that this was odds on it was going to be a comfortable match for Fast Eddie. Now, that may well have been the case, provided Fast Eddie was playing at a level of consistency that would, in the end, the result would take care of itself if he did that, but he hasn't. He's made a whole stack of errors, and the result has been that all through this match, as hard as Eddie has done to get away from Misken, he can't. And now it's actually gone the opposite way. Now Fast Eddie is sitting. He's 22 behind at the moment and counting, and dreading what he is going to be behind when he gets back to the table. The one thing in his favour is that Misken's probably not going to put a match-winning run together, but there's a possibility that that could happen. It's probably slim. But Eddie is running out of time here to get himself into gear and make anything that is a telling contribution. His high run is only 40, and that won't win him this tournament. Oh, good evening. Welcome to Brainful Out. Well, we've got a match on here, and probably unexpected as it's going at the moment. And these scores that Misken is putting together, this is what he's been doing on pretty much most of his visits. It's been 13s and 15s. His high run's been 23, so he's extended his high run in straight pull. And, it's been nothing spectacular, but it's been good enough to keep him getting back into the lead each time that Fast Eddie makes a mistake. Eddie's scratched at least 4 times. Just when he's threatened to get on a run, he's found a way to end it in disaster. And meanwhile, Misken is just going through the motions here, potting balls. That 15 ball looks pretty good to me. It's sitting ideal. And as I said earlier, the longer that Misken's getting table time, the more often he's getting table time, the more comfortable he's became and settled in. Yes, he's made his own mistakes. You know, he's not been flawless, but he's very relaxed now. He would have been nervy, and getting all these opportunities has really allowed him to settle in and just score. Now this needs to spin up. And that is perfect. Well, it's a wee bit shallow just to be critical, but he could maybe nudge something out here. Got to slam it though. And he's slammed it, and he's got a couple of balls in play, and all is good. And he's only 2 away from extending his high run. I'm going to have to edit that again, maybe. This one will equal his high run. Now, if he runs the cue ball and gets out of there and up, he's got a 3 ball. In fact, can he take the 8? Yes, he can. Can take the 3 up the table if he wants and come back for the whatever it is in the bottom rail at the 10 ball. So that ties his high run in straight pull. He's actually left himself 2 straight. When it says straight pull, it's not about leaving yourself straight in every bloody shot. That's far too straight on the 10 ball. But it's the one that will give him a new high run. Don't scratch off it though. Now, has he spotted anything? Nope, he's going to run for cover. And that's the right shot. And that's very well done. That's all you can ask of him, is just... And he hasn't put a rail. So he's tied his high run. He hasn't beaten it. He never hit the rail. Oh dear. In the space of 1 shot, he had his new high run of 24, and then he lost a point by not getting the cue ball to the rail. But probably that is actually as good as anything doing that. Because Fast Eddie's got nothing easy here at this distance. Now, has he called anything? I think he's looking at the pack of balls to see if he can manufacture anything here, but I honestly don't see anything jumping out at me. Well, he's played a combo. Almost missed that there, but he's lined up the combo and played it. I never saw him call that. But he did call it, because I could see it in the HUD and the replay. That was a cracking shot under pressure. Well, the more Eddie looks at that scoreboard, the more the pressure mounts on him. He's 35 points behind. And he needs a major contribution here. And he knows it. Because for this visit to end short, Misken's going to get an awful lot closer to that finishing line. And when Fast Eddie got up this morning, this was not what he was imagining what was going to happen. It was going to be a good day. He was going to settle in, get a good run, and it's going to be a comfortable win. And the exact opposite has happened. It's threatening to turn into a nightmare for him. But it just goes to show you that there's no dead set in this game with this table set up. There is no dead set. And that 8 and 7 ball, I think, are an issue because that's not ideally set. It looks again like the 7 ball's going to the jaw slightly. So Eddie's got to get a bump, and he's got a bump. Well, it's improved it slightly, but it's still left a remaining issue. He's got rid of one issue and created another. And that's what happens when you've still got more than enough balls on the table that can run into each other, and you create an issue that was never there in the first place. So it's a big ask for Fast Eddie here to find his way out and keep this run going. It's only in its infancy. He's only got 5 points, and he's still got a lot of catching up to do. And I've started yawning, which is never a good sign. And it's not the match that's put me to sleep, it's the fact that even though in my days off, I'm still up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I was up at 4 o'clock this morning. This might be a bit too straight. Yeah, it's just a bit too straight. Now, he's got to be careful here, because if you just come back into the table, you've got balls blocking each other here with this setup. So he's staying bottom side to play up table or play down table, depending where you're looking from. Well, it's getting to the critical phase again, as it inevitably does in each rack of balls. The 2-ball is sitting at the head of the pack. The 8-ball will work as well. You've got to be committed as to what way you're going to get there. The fact that the 8 and 2 are close to one another is very handy, and he should get himself very good on this break shot. Well, now he's having second thoughts. Let's have a look what it's like from his end. Yeah, see the two balls, you know, cutting it up table into that corner pocket. The cue ball's going that way. So then if you're going to do that, you've got to be 100% committed to get the cue ball running. But you're going to go further and further away from the 8. And, well, he sort of played that as a stunny shot. He sort of got there, but he missed a major objective, which was potting the ball. And again, the visit is only 9, and he's still 27 points behind. And Misken is sitting plumb on this breakout ball. Cue ball heading up and down the table, needs to get a nudge. He doesn't want to be stuck in something. Oh yeah, hang on a minute. And he's okay, he can get through the gap. He's okay, and this must be painful for Fast Eddie. Because, I mean, anybody who can pot a ball in VP4 can take out what's sitting about here. This, again, is just like Christmas come early for Misken. And he's only 29 away from victory here. Never ever take anything for granted. You know, this is a guy who basically doesn't play straight pool, as quite a few in the tournament are going to prove that as we go further on. But he's learning that just being consistent and taking your 10 and 15 runs and then ducking is one way of getting over the line. It's not going to be the most impressive at the end of the day, but if your opponent's struggling, but your opponent's the favourite, as long as you're keeping contributing, you're still adding to the pressure. And this is exactly what Misken's been doing. And Eddie is, if he's not already there, he's already at panic stations. Misken only 25 away from victory. He might not be sitting too good here, I don't think. Well, yes, he has got a cut. And now he's got an angle in the 3 to do a little bit of nudging. Doesn't need to slam this, just needs to brush the 10. And that's just loosened him up. He's going to have to bail out either on the 15 or the 6. But if you're playing that 4-ball, you've got a choice of 4 balls from this side. However, you've got to then look at what might be the break ball. And the 11 ball is pretty tight to the pack. The 13's pretty high on the pack, and the 2's in the pack, as is the 10. But it's double figures again for Misken in this contribution. And I think just about everything that Fast Eddie's tried in breaking out balls, at that critical time he's ended up scratching it on about 4 occasions. And it's all what might have been had he stayed on the table. Lost lots of points because of it. Because all of those opportunities have all ended up going to Misken, and he's sort of made hay as the sun shines. And he's now what, 39 in front? Oh, he's hung the 2. Yes. On the top left-hand corner of your screen, you will see that that's what it tells you there. Acero made that earlier today. The first visit to the table, he made a run of 130. Is that Tin? Who's Martin? Remind me who you are. Is it Tin? I can't think who it is. Well, Fast Eddie, he's either fallen asleep, or he's dreading playing the next shot, or he's left the building. One of the 2. Oh, no, he's been to the bathroom as well. So both players have been to the bathroom. We're good to go to get this match done. We're already 2 hours and 10 minutes into this match. I'm glad I had my dinner like I said I was having it, because there's no way I was going for dinner at this time of night. Well, Fast Eddie is... he's up the proverbial creek without a paddle at the moment. He is really in a tough spot. I thought it was Tin. Good evening to Tin. Well, let's see what he's left here. Well, it's very tight to the pack, but he's going to have a shot. I think he's going to have a shot here. Well, again, he doesn't want to open up too much, and that'll be ideal. Well, this has to come out good. Now, there's less likelihood of him scratching here unless he really fizzes this cue ball up. But he really wants to get the meat of the back corner of that pack, and it should open up reasonably good here.
Where's the cue ball going?
He's done it again. He hasn't got a hold of the cue ball, and it's running forward off the stack, and then it goes again. Complete and utter disaster. Well, if you ever want an example of a nightmare match, this is it. This is certainly it. Because everything that can go wrong at completely the wrong time for Fast Eddie has happened today. And it has happened big time. He cannot get himself started at all. He's had a run of 40 and that's been it. And everything else has gone to pot. Well, that's exactly it, Larry. You've got to get the hold on the cue ball. Because if you start banging it at that pace, the momentum, if it catches that pack and you've done nothing with the spin, it's going to go straight forward off the angle into the corner pocket. So he's made some proper howlers. And that's not the first time he's done it. Well, what you're trying to do is you're not trying to do a big fizz draw. It's like a lot of pace, and you're trying to stop that forward momentum in the cue ball. That's the primary objective with that shot. That is the primary objective, and Eddie just hasn't been at the party at all. And Misken's going through the motions again. He can go up table to the short rail, and there's 3 balls sitting there waiting for him. And if he gets the right pace, he might be a bit straight in this 14. Yeah, he's far too straight. But he's trying to work something here now. He might well have got it. That 4 goes, and the angle's perfect. He can just play a nice, gentle little nudge and free a couple of balls out. This doesn't need to be slammed. This is just a little bit of momentum to move things. Well, I would have wanted a bit more movement than that, though. He needed to be a wee bit more keen to get that cue ball going forward there. Well, he's got a bailout, but it's fiddly. Let's just say that. But Eddie may well be getting back to the table here pretty shortly.
Where's the cue ball going?
The cue ball's going nowhere. That was a good recovery. And now he can play a gentle pot on the 8 ball. Do nothing with the cue ball. Just let it take its course. See, that's too hard. He didn't need to hit that as hard. He came out good. But he could easily have nudged a ball onto these balls and tied something up there doing that. But he's fine. And he'll probably take the 3 and brush off the 12. Is that the 12 or the 13? 13, no, he's taking the 7. But I'd be taking the 3 just for the sake of getting rid of it. You mean, if you get a double kiss, you're coming up onto the 5 or ideally the 2 ball, because you want to really leave the 5 there. And he's took the 3. And, well, he can bail out in the 7. That's workable. If he takes the 13, he might be running into the 7. Or he might go through the gap. Just like that. And the cue ball is still good. He's not behind the point. And, well, I think I'd be thinking about getting rid of that 7 ball. And he's going a bit square. Now, there's a 7 ball. Well, it'll do, but again, it's at the head of the pack. But he really wants to get rid of that. And watch the pace in the cue ball. This needs to keep going. And, well, again, it's maybe a wee bit shallower than he would have liked, but it's still workable with the corner of that pack. All you're wanting is a couple of balls out in the open, and that's what he's done. And suddenly, he's only 5 balls away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from sending Fast Eddie to the 1 loss side. There's another one there if he needs it. He's home and dry here, folks. The only unfortunate thing is he's not going to beat his high run again. He won't be caring. But if he can just get this cue ball out into the open, that 2 ball goes into the corner. He can go forward and up the table for the 2 if he needs to. He's overhit this again. He's got a touch like a bloody sledgehammer. He wanted to be finishing there, but that'll do. He can cut the 6. But he'll still need either the 2 or the 9. Or is that the 9 or the 1 ball? It's a 1 ball. Well, this has been a great example match of somebody being odds-on favourite to somebody who doesn't play the game being consistent and taking advantage of opportunities, and that's exactly what Misken has done, and a thoroughly deserved victory. Yes, he's not going to win the tournament, but consistency wins you matches, and that's what he's done today. And Eddie has been punished for all the mistakes he's made and allowed Misken to contribute all the way through the match. And, you know, definite deserved winner at the end of the day. Eddie's got nothing to complain about. He made all the mistakes, and he made far more than Misken done. But I've got bad news for Misken, because it ain't going to be quite as easy, I don't think, in his next match. Let's have a look. And the bad news for Misken is he's in round 2 and he's lined up to play Cobra or Cheeky Chico. So Misken is going to get a wake-up call, because he is not going to get as friendly a help as he got today, I'm afraid. Right, so now we need a quick look at what is left in the schedule.
Where's the cue ball going?
We've got that match. Oh, there's now another match. You've got Brainful Out and Power Slam, who have got about 45 minutes before they start. Well, if Slim appears, he can get that one, because I won't be doing it. It's too late for me. That match will last at least 2 hours as well, and that's well into my bedtime. Aussie Mick and Polka Bouter, they go ahead tomorrow morning. I'll be at work. We've got Cobra and Cheeky Chico tomorrow night at 7. I will be there for that one. We've got Viking and Laser. That's on Saturday at 6 p.m. I won't be there for that, and I won't be there for Shibo and DJ Simon, because again, it's too late. 6 o'clock my time Saturday, I'll be watching football, and then I'll be getting my dinner. So these are matches that, apart from the Cobra Cheeky Chico one, where I can get that one, if Slim's around, hopefully he can get them for you. So that is it. Very well done to Misken. Good luck to Fast Eddie, but he knows he's going to have to step up, because if you've had your worst nightmare in your first round match, you've got to look on the bright side and say, well, things can only get better. So good luck to him with that. And thanks for watching, folks. Take care, and we will see you again very soon, and I'll bid you good night.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.